Virginia is one of the least forgiving states when it comes to criminals, and the Attorney General wants to change that. Thanks for joining us. I'm Stephanie Harris.
And I'm Laura Queso. Mark Herring is calling for an easier process to give nonviolent offenders a clean slate. 10 on your side's Maria-Elena Baloris is here with what changes Herring wants to see.
Well, Herring wants nonviolent offenders who have shown that they have turned things around to have a chance to wipe the slate clean. He believes it would give people the chance to make their lives and their communities better. And now is the time to make these changes in Virginia.
This week is the second annual Expungement Week, a nationwide initiative that helps people restore their rights and expunge their records. To mark the occasion, Attorney General Mark Herring is calling for expanded clean slate laws in Virginia.
I've seen too many people who have made a mistake maybe early in their life that resulted in a criminal conviction, such as a small possession of marijuana or alcohol possession charge, and that conviction lasted a lifetime.
Herring says this push is for people who have relatively minor convictions.
People who are convicted of violent offenses, sexual assault or domestic abuse, things like that, DUI would not be eligible for it. But this is more for people who have made a mistake maybe early in their life that's relatively minor.
Herring says he's spoken with attorneys general in other states where clean slate laws have been effective in reducing crime and recidivism. He says Virginia could model its expungement process after some of those other states.
Most of them rely on some period of time after they've completed their sentence, after they've completed all of their probation and fines. That could be 5 years, could be 10 years or 15 years. That's a conversation that I think we need to have in Virginia, and it's long overdue.
He also says people's attitudes toward criminal justice reform are changing, so now is the time to act.
I think we can do more for people who have shown that they have in fact turned their lives around to help them achieve their potential and provide for their families.
Herring says the next step is for lawmakers to speak with community advocates, law enforcement, prosecutors, and people who have passed convictions and have turned their lives around. He hopes that leads to action in the upcoming General Assembly. In the newsroom, I'm Maria-Elena Baloris, 10 on your side.